Hey Taurus, TT here with a channeled message for all of my Tauruses, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars placements. If you are new, welcome to our little love nest over here on Talk Taurus Tarot. If you're returning, welcome back, you guys. Thank you for all the love and support in the comments. I see you guys. I haven't been able to really sit and go respond to each and every comment, because I have a lot of personal readings to complete. Outside of that, I just wanted to shout out you guys because y'all make me smile, laugh, cry, and all those wonderful things in the comment section. Sharing your connection with my connection has been an honor. All right, Taurus. So this particular reading is the Tower. Okay, so having the courage to do something, whoever you are, Taurus. You heard that ding? Okay, so there's something about you having the inner courage, the inner strength to confidently confront something, let go of something, drop something. This could have been a habit, right? And you're doing it. So shout out to you that have decided that you were going to do things differently in 2023. You are doing the damn thing. Okay. This is your year. Okay. And I did post something inside of the community tab about 2023. Like, your peace is a priority. I love it. Above any connection, above any relationship, this is what you're cultivating. The right type of people, friends and colleagues here. I'm seeing a lot, you getting out more, you doing things, feeling really grounded, stable, at peace with yourself from the waist up. Okay, so I really feel like this peace is gonna come not just from you meditating and doing the spiritual work, but you really being able to move your body. All right, going places, doing things. You're really going to be tapping into not so much as hand stuff, right? Because y'all could have been working from home or sitting down or whatever, or playing video games, watching TV. I don't know. But it seems like your peace is going to come from you really getting grounded and getting out into nature, or getting back to the nature of yourself. I like this energy. So whatever it was that was chaotic in your life, traumatic, loss, you had a real epiphany or a revelation in something, that something was depleting you, whatever that confusion was that was creating pain, or just, I feel like it served its spiritual purpose, and you may have been told no, or spirit may have taken something from you. It may have come as a surprise to you that you had to surrender something. This was really big, okay? Because this is something that an old belief system, old perspective, whatever this was, you got a big, like you said, no. You put your foot down, all right? Now, the overall energy is still kind of the same. It's still fast, okay? Somebody wasn't expecting you to get over them so fast. This may have been someone that's used to doing certain tactics. They may come in and come out just as quick as they come in, they come out as well into your life. And that instability is intended to make you feel chaotic. And I feel like you hit me with that bullshit. All right, this is not the season for you. You're really serious about something, Taurus. Doing things, holding people accountable for their own behavior. You're not doing that shit no more. You mean that. People have to take accountability for themselves, and if they don't take accountability for themselves, you're letting the chips fall where they may. I feel like you're no longer overstaying your welcome. You're no longer holding on to people, places, or things that don't want to be held on to. You are you're very direct, and I feel like you may have wavered on that directness to give someone chance after chance after chance to make better choices. Okay, and they may have translated to the sender or the receiver as, oh, Taurus is okay with that, but no, that's not what you had said. That's not what you had said. what you had said was be careful with you. But that's what you had said. All right. Be careful so you don't have to be sorry. And somebody was working on the reverse end, right? I'm gonna say sorry and pretend like I'm being careful. And the sorry is supposed to justify the lack thereof, okay? Because I really feel like this person or the energy that's been coming at you was intended for you to kind of be impulsive. You know what I'm saying? It was intended for you to be irrational and kind of have like this rash behavior, make rash decisions, and whatever that was, it was directly like hitting at your walls of your heart, okay? And you was like, oh hell no, you got the wrong, y'all playing with the wrong people. So I feel like you really started evaluating your friends list. You really started evaluating, what is that? Is that Lumiere? Yeah. Okay. The candle here, the tri candle. I feel like spirit helped you with this one. It was only a matter of time. Lumiere. So the furniture starts speaking to you. Your environment started speaking to you because you're really in tune with your body, and the people around you directly affect you. And someone was very careless about this. Yes, that's what I had seen. Do you remember in Beauty and the Beast when Lumiere and them, set Belle at the table? And Belle also represents announcement, information, and they were kind of like prepping Belle to get comfortable. Hey Belle, how you doing? Get comfortable, welcome to the palace. This is over here. This my little boo thing. All right. What was her name? The Feather. Okay. This is Teapot. Welcome to this. These are all. Get comfortable. I want to introduce you to lust. I want to introduce you to gluttony. I want to introduce you to this one. And we all get along real well. And we would like for you to join in on the fun. Sit at our table. It's been prepared for you. Just keep quiet, okay? Keep quiet. Don't make too much noise, Taurus. Because if you make too much noise, you ain't gonna be able to sit at this table no more. Because you about to wake somebody up. So some of y'all like have awakened the beast, all right? The sleeping beast in someone, all right? I feel like the people at the table, the furniture, the objects that's been around someone has gotten real comfortable, and I feel like those were spirits. All right, Taurus, those were spirits that communicated to you the reality. And as the bell, this is like a ringing of a call, okay? And so they're like, hey, listen, Belle, I like you. You know what I'm saying? I really dig it. You're that guy, you're that girl. Don't ring that fucking bell, okay? But you rang the bell. Some way, somehow, you rang the bell. Blew the whistle, blew the horn. Sacral energy. Yep. I'm telling you. It was risky, but this is a part of your journey. Okay, you can either fear the beast or you can confront the beast. And I feel like you called the beast out. You called it by its name. Right? You called this beast by its name. And all the spirits that was enabling the beast to continue behaving that way, that was attracted, you know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, remember in the movie Belle, those are symbolisms for all the people that were codependent on the prince, right? That was codependent on the beast, providing stability, structure, fun, joy. As long as they kept the beast happy, the beast would sit there and be complacent and enjoy its realm, right? Its castle. That's their casa. So you could have went to a physical house, you could have went to a physical location, but the people and the furniture, because you showed up in that environment, everyone started talking to you and wanted you to, like, they tried to peacefully tell you, like, let me explain something to you, okay? They're a good person. They're a good person, right? And the reality of the situation is, yes, this person is stuck in this illusion, right? Because the illusion that the prince was under was technically a cursed heart, right? The rose represented the petals of that gentleness encased by a jar. That jar was symbolism for being trapped, their heart being trapped in a jar, unable to feel but die away, wither away. And in order to unlock that person had to experience true love. All right. But it wasn't about, this person's a taker. Okay. Remember, the beast was a taker. And when I say taker, prior to its curse of even becoming that way, this prince or whatever, this king never liked being told no. No one ever told this king no. No one ever checked this person's ego ever before. Okay. And then the disguise of that witch, high priestess, whatever you want to call it, testing the heart of the prince was pretty much a symbolism of, okay, this is a test to you. And all you have to do is humility, right? Humility. Where is your humility for humanity as the king or the prince over this land? And that king failed to exhibit humility. So that was his curse, because he didn't understand what true love was. Now, I'm saying all of this to say this because this image triggered an association to this, but everything down to the candles, the objects, even look at that, even the clock is there, okay, is showing how this is returning to glory days. All right. And I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like even images of like what would be hieroglyphics on a wall. So being returned to glory days. There's even a fireplace behind them, which was also a symbolism that was in the movie. So there is, someone's remembering their glory days of how they once had everything. They once, had elaborate parties in their home, or they're grieving something, and that grieving process has put them in a beastly mode, right? Where they're unhealthy to a lot of people around them. They may, talk very harshly, or they have nothing to really say. If they did say anything, it would be like withdrawing, right? It's a withdrawal mechanism. So all of the spirits that were enshrined in the objects of that home wanted Belle to feel welcomed, but Belle did not feel welcomed. Belle was like, well, why can't I go in the West Wing? Why can't I go over here? Belle asked questions. Belle tested these spirits that were telling her what she could and couldn't do in that space, right? And she's like, but why? Okay, so a lot of the generation that are the why babies, okay? When I say that, like, you may ask why a lot. That may be something that you have experienced, okay? That no one can answer the questions that you have, but they're telling you, like, don't disrupt the beast. Don't come for the big guy, okay? Keep your head down. And you're like, no, I don't have it in me to keep my head down. I don't have it in me to sit here and pretend like I don't see that there's something going on, but you want me to stay out the West Wing, right? And you're telling me that it's better to get in line than to look at it directly for what it is, or it's better to cope with your circumstances and fix your mind to perceive it positively so you can live with it, when we can just focus more on focus more on creating the standard. All right, creating the systems. You got to focus on the systems, because a lot of times people will say, oh, when you accept the reality of relationships or the reality of what you are culturally designated to experience, then you're able to thrive, right? You're able to work with that. That's all you're capable of doing. Working in your parameter, focusing on those small details of yourself, because that's all you can control, or that's all you can govern, right? But when the system doesn't promote the environment, then we got to go back to the basics, right? We got to go back to what are the systems, what are the values, who created them, even if they were done ritualistically over eons. If it created the same resolution centuries after centuries after over time, then that's a revelation. And once we get to a point of a revelation that's repeating around the solar system, around the sun, we have to revolve around what's in our subconscious. Now we have to go within around what's in our subconscious, what's creating the perpetuating reality through the sun, right? Because what lights up, and every time there is a new moon and you experience that darkness of the moon, understand that whatever is in that moon is going to procreate. It's going to come into fruition, right? But when it's in its full state of its cycle, when it's at its full capacity and it is lit up and like, okay, I'm full, I'm ready to purge this old system. At that moment, we have the opportunity to decide if we want to continue instilling the same images. Because remember, feminine energy only understands image, right? So what are you feeding the feminine energy? Your subconscious. What are you feeding it? What images is it being? What images are being reflected? Because feminine energy is only going to spit out, okay, what it has seen, what it has committed as an agreement. So what this energy was trying to do was, this energy was trying to shift your perspective. No, don't focus. Look over here. Don't look over there. Just like the furniture, or just like the objects that was speaking to Belle, they were trying to tell her, look at all the food on the table. Aren't you happy with the food on the table? Look at all the different things that you can have here if we can just convince you to stay long enough, right? If we could just convince you to become comfortable long enough, you'll start to blend in with the rest of the furniture. You'll start to feel like you belong, because your environment, you've adapted to your environment at that point. So they had to bribe her with things. They had to bribe her with warmth. They had to bribe her with, and remember, Belle also represents subconscious. They had to bribe in that feminine energy. They had to bribe her with all of these material things. But the reason why Belle was created as the trumpet of that experience was because she had it in her, or an innate desire to research. She had an innate desire to read. She had an innate desire to interpret her own inner standing, despite what she saw. Otherwise, when Gaston was offering it to her, she would have took it. When the next person was offering it to her, she would have took it. When everyone could see that she didn't have the same perspective, she stood out because she was different. And there was envy and jealousy and all these different things. They didn't belong to her, but they wanted her to step on over into this side. The only thing that brought Belle out of her comfort zone was her love for her father. Truth be told, That's it. The love for her father, which means as a daughter, right? Her love for her father was unconditional. She knew that in this world that he was perceived to be a certain way. So that took her on her journey of discovering or going to find her father. And when I'm talking about your father, I mean your relationship with God, right? Because in so many ways, her father had technically, checked out, in so many ways. He wanted her to, like, oh, I'm getting old. It's time for you to marry. It's time for you to go off with your life. And she was like, I don't need anybody. I'm happy by myself. What's wrong with me just being me? And he pretty much checked out. So really, the pursuit of her going to find her father was for her going to find her love, and that relationship with really God. Okay. And it's a pursuit of clarity. It's a pursuit of invention, right? Reinventing herself. Her father was an inventor. Her father was a creator. And she was an interpreter of that creator. So we could ask those questions. Was Belle's father really flesh, or was it or was it depicting a spiritual symbolism of a father archetype, right? All of that is not a coincidence why you're drawn to that movie, because the images are telling you something that reads deeper than the physical objects or the music and the whole elaborate illustration of what's going on. On some level, your soul remembers that was a part of your story. Okay, that was a part of your, how can I say that? That was a part of your destiny. You resonate with it because you feel like it's you feel like you know it. It can make you cry because you're watching your life pretty much play out in a visual image, and those visual images stick in your subconscious, right? But if at any point in time when you are in control of your free will, you have the ability to adapt, reinvent, reprogram, and reestablish a new narrative. You are not doomed to play out the story of that experience so long as you no longer want to create it. Okay? How it ends is going to be determined by you. And you'll leave the stories, and the stories and the symbolisms for us to read with. Okay? So I feel like for a moment you may have been trapped, because remember, before the beast, when the beast realized that he had someone in his home that was not supposed to be there, and when I say not supposed to be there, it was a surprise to him. One, the opposition that she came with. Two, it was a surprise that she wasn't afraid of him. That in itself was a lot to process. She was not afraid of the beast. Okay, when every person came in, they came with that fear. But she could see that the beast had its own set fears. He was afraid of being, attacked, or he was afraid of being, he was ashamed or insecure of his own physical, because that's what he relied off. He relied off his looks. He was insecure around his physique. You know what I'm saying? He felt like he wasn't good enough physically, because that's what he perceived to be worth something. All right. Yep, relationships. So manifesting these relationships or these soul ties, like they're whatever knot was created, I feel like that knot is being loosened. So the grip is being loosened and you're being let go of. And there's something about this phase of it, is that part where, all right, so you've been in that prison cell. You know, you've already experienced that aspect of the story where first it was, you know, I think I'm being treated nice. I think, you know, I got this space. No, before that it was, actually, that's manipulation. Think about it. Okay. When he put and I'm sorry I'm breaking down this whole damn movie, but it's like I keep trying until I get it out, it's not gonna stop playing over and over in my head. When he put her in the tower, like I said, this is a tower moment. When he put her in the tower, he trapped her there. He wanted her to pretty much feel like she couldn't get out. It was supposed to be some type of doom for her. And I feel like this is like putting somebody on timeout, right? When someone puts you in a room or they ghost you, they don't talk to you for a while, that's putting you on timeout as a way to manipulate the situation. Okay? And instead of him coming back to talk about the things that he did, those spirits started working to manipulate the situation because they was tired of being objects, okay, in this person's reality. And those could show up as friends, right? They could show up as a lot of different things. But what happens is people in those pods will come in the vicinity and will manipulate the situation. How? You know, saying, well, let's try to offer her, like, we'll let you out of the tower if you agree to behave, okay? We'll let you out of the cell we put you in if you act right. So how do we say that? Well, you just got to try not to leave. You just have to go along with it. And her deciding to go along with it for a while was, she never forgot what she wanted to do, but ultimately she was giving the beast and all of the beast's workers, colleagues, whatever you want to call it, an opportunity to do the right thing. And I feel like that's what this is about, an opportunity to do the right thing. Whether that be, you know, to let her go, whether that be to release her from that stronghold, whether that be to, you know, let her get to her father, let her have that relationship, untie the knot that was trying to be held over her. That's what I feel like here. Because someone felt like with this sacral energy, that they could redirect your connection with the creator and possess you, own you, keep you. I heard my precious, and now I'm hearing Smeagol. Like, it's a ring. And that's because it's like someone wanted to wear you. Okay, now I'm hearing the Epics of Gilgamesh or something. Someone wanted to wear you like a ring. Have you for themselves. So, but truthfully, what the reason why they wanted is because they wanted to, the beast really started initially playing nice because ultimately he wanted to get back to his glory days. Like I said, returning back to your glory days. So someone realized that you had the ring of peace around you. And in order to return back to those glory days, that beast, whoever that beast is in your life, these relationships, felt like, if I possess you, Taurus, I will be able to return back to my original body, my original lifestyle, my original glory days before I let myself go, before I lost my soul to these other relationships or vices or material things. So anytime someone's like, oh, I wanted to know, I want my true love, I always feel like this Belle story, okay? Because true love was always shown in every narrative of, realizing that can't no one take your ring, can no one possess you. And that's not love. What real love is, what true love is the act of being willing to let go or release anyone without possessing them, without holding on to them, not wanting or desiring to control them. But somewhere along the line, had she not continued to test the limitations of that beast, she wouldn't have known whether or not that beast was genuine or not. You understand? Because prior to him noticing that, hey, she was really a good person and she's not a bad person, he was only out to save himself, really. Doesn't make his intentions wrong, because he also had his own mission, which was to undo his own damn curse. And she had her own mission, which was to find her father. Okay? So your person may be trying to undo their curse of whatever that curse may be that has them bound to their own iniquity. And you Taurus, may have your own mission to maintain and continue discovering or exploring your relationship with your father. And when you guys want to see each other, that mirror is a communication form, right? You may not be able to respond, but this is kind of like saying, like, hey, I got to unloose the knot that we have created together, because I have to go and find my happiness, right? I got to go have fun. I got to live my life. I can love you. We can be connected, but you can't hold on to me, right? And with strength here, all right, we have this lion here, and we have this angel energy here, this gentle giant type of energies. This is really like going on a journey, and some of you had to literally pack up and leave, and maybe that person didn't want to let you go. But whoever that person is, I feel like God is watching over them. God is watching over them, and helping them work through these things, helping them complete these vices to become more stable, to become more strong, all right, on their own personal journey. So like, God is working on this person to heal them. Yep. We have 7 and 5. You could be dealing with a Leo here, Taurus, because this is Taurus and Leo energy on this card with the strength card. Anytime someone tries to hold on too tightly, you go and you will leave. Okay? Anytime someone is anytime there's jealousy, envy, or anxiety, like you gotta have a direct connection, otherwise you're no good to nobody. That's what they had said. Like, in the relationship, that's your grounding point, is your relationship with the Creator. It's your life path. Okay, we also have 2 here, so we have 4. You could be life path 8, 3, 22, 7. So let's see. So Spirit's message to you, Taurus, is to continue your journey, okay? And anyone that loves you will, will allow you to do what makes you happy. The message here is a very strong message. You and your lover have to learn how not to try to control each other. Y'all are meant for each other, yes. Y'all may have had a hasty relationship where y'all started really quick. Y'all may have been, y'all may have attacked each other. Y'all may have went for each other, but y'all are meant to be together. You are meant to have relationships with other friends and people, and mingle and not possess each other. Not try to tie or hold on to one another, but to focus on the good times. And because it's like anytime it's not in that frequency, the destruction will come. Okay, the tower will hit and the breakup will come, and then you'll have to leave. Because one thing that the beast had to learn was that no matter where Belle went, right? No matter where she went, her heart was, their love was still alive. And once he had that stability to hold on to, or once the both of y'all have that stability to hold on to, then you're genuinely unbreakable. Then you're genuinely connected, and that's when you're in the realm of true love. And that goes for anyone, any type of relationship, whether it's friends, colleagues, your parents, your romantic partners. Taurus, the Spirit is saying you will be the undoing of every relationship around you, and vice versa, if you have not worked on your control issues. If you not have, the both of you haven't learned how to not control one another, but just love each other for free. Okay? It eliminates the insecurity, okay? Or the need to react impulsively to certain situations. Because the truth is, like, you need relationship. You need healthy recognition in order to create something. In order to build or create anything. This hangman energy it's been a negative cycle for a very long time. You have the Lovers here. So forgiveness is here. Putting an end to something is here. Yeah. Putting an end to something is here. Eight of Pentacles, working to create and build something that this is definitely opposites attracting. All right, you and someone else could be healing mother wounds. You may have mother wounds that are similar here. I'm picking up a water energy, Page of Wands energy, the Empress, and the High Priestess. You have a divine opportunity where you can make peace and build the relationship that you want to build. Can cultivate the lifestyle that you want to have, the relationships that you want to have, building it on a solid foundation, the Three of Pentacles. But again, you have to hold back from, well, this is only what I want. I only want these people in my life. I don't want those. It's almost like when I see a lot of pages, this is reminding me that there is a childlike level of consciousness. Okay. And that childlike level of consciousness, you could be, in your 50s, 60s, 80s, 100s. You could be in your 20s, 30s. It don't matter the age. When you have a deep mother wound, and this is something that goes on beyond just this right here. When you the absence of love, the absence of the creator energy of the mother stunts the growth of these souls. So you can experience repetitive cycles because on a consciousness level, you're only able to perceive love through the lens of that's my person, you're my person, nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And no matter where you go on your journey, you're going to learn that. And it's going to come through people, friends, and relationships. If you just observe your environment, Taurus, you're going to learn that relationships are tied together, but they're not, they're not thriving. They break up. They're not able to keep their families together. A lot of things are happening because of holding on too tightly to one another. It's not true love. Okay? It's not the creator way of love, right? And I feel like the high priestess is really bringing love back into the community or the environment of your personal, your glory days, restoring things back to your home, your glory days, where you don't have to go out and look for father anymore. You don't have to go out and go on this long journey of trying to discover your relationship with his story, right? When you understand that it's her story, you'll start to realize that until you plant your tree somewhere and you sit there and you work on cultivating it, right? Where you were rooted, wherever you rooted that tree, not to doubt what you're creating, what you're planting. You know what I'm saying? That's truly where you want to be. As a Taurus energy, you want to be rooted and nested. You want to be grounded. And a part of being able to ground that light is going to require you to put that light inside of you and no longer externalize it in people. You're going to have to discover that within you, no matter where you are, who you are. It's not contingent. The light being dim or bright is not contingent on anything external to you. It's internal to you. And I feel like a lot of that is something that you may have adapted, you know what I'm saying? Through the relationships with other people, you may have adapted a whole heap of perspectives around what love is based off of your relationships with friends, family, colleagues, and internalizing that. It's difficult for you to maintain a relationship or have a healthy relationship and this ain't gonna be for everybody. This is going to be for divine feminine, really. Because I'm seeing that experiment with the rice. All right. There was 2 jars. I think I saw it on YouTube like a couple years ago. There's like 2 jars of rice. One of them, someone spoke to it with positive affirmations and the shelf life lasts. And the other jar, they were speaking negativity into it and it it deteriorated a lot faster. You're about to realize that you haven't been able to show up for your relationships because your focus has been on something tangible, something that you can see. What can I refer this to? I need a model. I need a replica. Okay, whether that replica is like in the Bible, right? That's a model. This is what God said. This is the model that I can go off of. It's tangible, right? Or whether you're referring to your archetypes of your direct family. Those are shaping and molding your perspective. But when you stop looking external to something tangible, you'll start to be able to recognize that it's in you. It's inside of you. It's an everyday project. And you'll start to be able to confront those internal subconscious coins that you've been cashing in on. How has it benefited you thus far? Right? You still feel lonely. Even if you're in a relationship, you still feel lonely. You miss them. There's still a longing for something better. Right? Because you can't feel something you can't see. You can't build something you can't see. And everywhere you've went, your environment has been telling you that they don't got it, this one don't have it, this one don't have it. So you're on a journey of trying to discover self-love, right? Your lover is not going to abandon you for you being selfish. That's what I feel like here. This is what I feel like it's saying. And you shouldn't abandon them for them being selfish as well. And when I say selfish, I mean doing what makes them feel happy, doing what they want to do. Yeah, because I feel like whoever this is, they want to build some type of legacy, generational wealth. They want to create something. But in order for that to work, in order for that to be planted, y'all desires have to align, or your desire for true love has to outweigh the desire to possess one another. And when you guys stop, um, when you guys stop building that, that's when fear creeps in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking to a very specific collective of Tauruses. And when I say Tauruses, it could be in your chart. It doesn't have to be your sun sign, okay? This is really like building, creating and building something. But with all these threes here, this is the manifestation that you're about to see is 3-3. I'm also hearing like with this Empress energy, this could be with this Hangman energy. I was talking about the Hangman energy last night with the 12. This could be the natural. This could also be like the natural way of a family unit, okay? A community unit, right? Communal type of unit. When I say communal, I mean like where you're not just raising the family on your own, okay? You're talking about communal living where everyone, more than one family unit, prospers off of it. Creates an intelligence that is all interconnected but rooted, separate but the same. It's like at the core of Earth is feminine energy, creator energy, right? That's just, I gotta put it into tangible words for you, Taurus, okay? Because logic in the logic alone ain't going, the math ain't gonna math, okay? So creator energy, you think that we're all separate because we have different colors, right? We have different colors, different diverse energy. And yes, we all are unique tribes, right? But when we're talking about the planet and being, different shades of color, hair textures, body structures, you could go in one tribe or one part of the world and you'll notice a certain facial expression, certain facial features that are indigenous to that land, whatever. Vice versa, you can go over here, see the same thing. So what I'm saying to you is it's primordial, it's living, it's a living intelligence that is all interconnected in a network. 3 of Pentacles talks about network, collaboration, interconnectedness, right? Which transfers on of the above level as the manifested relationship or connection or network as buildings, businesses, communities, schools, right? Because we all have a common interest, right? We all have a common creation in mind. Now, underneath that ground is something is breaking. Something is breaking. The confusion is breaking. And like all of this chaos, destruction, upheaval, trauma, disaster that's happening all over the planet, the divorce rate, the pain, the abuse, violence, okay? We're about to go through another Great Depression where it'll feel like another Great Depression. And all of these things are occurring above ground because below ground, right? The roots, what's at the root of the issue is the imbalance of primordial energy, that interconnected network. Somewhere there is a community where the connection to that ancestor or the connection to that primordial source, which is feminine in nature, doesn't exist. Isn't connected or isn't linked. Overworked. You also, the Queen of Pentacles is also a businessman, businesswoman, right? But this is definitely with this sacral energy and the Queen of Pentacles. This is definitely connecting to feminine energy, specifically your connection with the network of women, the network of feminine energy that you're supposed to be connecting with, or that you're connecting with, needs you to do something, needs you to share. Sharing is caring, Taurus. Needs you to be willing to share what you have with more than one person. And when I say that, I mean, you see the Four of Pentacles? Okay. I'm talking to my feminine specifically, and this is going to make you probably cry. Especially if you are a native human being. Okay? When I say a native human being, you have a direct connection to that source of creation. One thing about native human beings to this planet specifically, your connection with the environment, your connection with nature is your divinity. Okay? How that's expressed is intelligent, right? It's intelligent as everything works in a perfect balance, in a perfect harmony. No one goes without. Poverty, destruction, violence, abuse, none of those were things any of you have ever had to worry about. It wasn't, how do I say this? It's like she's saying it wasn't taken from you. It wasn't taken from you. They just got you to believe that it existed outside of you. In the book. In something tangible. They got you to believe that it was something that you had to pursue. And as long as you were believing that's how they were able to confuse you and draw you away from. Which is why you may struggle with staying somewhere. It's contingent on something physical, right? Which would cause you by default to hyper attune to whether or not someone else was taking from you while you're working. Cause you to hyper attune if someone else was experiencing what you have, and which would create jealousy, envy, and make you want to leave your home, your community, your environment. Because something about this is there's something that's like an initiative. Yeah, it's an initiative, especially on divine feminine. There was an initiative where, yes, as a businessman, businesswoman, there is nothing wrong with you being able to do that. You should be able to do that, especially you evolving with the times of the environment the habitat you're currently existing in. But the sacred space of this network was always with the balance of this connection with your high priestess, right? So in order for her to give you an egg, okay, that egg is going to be an idea, innovation, something to propel society and humanity forward, right? Now, with this Knight of Cups, there's an emotional energy exchange that has to occur. Now, I feel like with this action here, we are referring to we're referring to like a partner. A partner. Because you're not aware of something's hanging upside down. It's like because you're not aware of, this is taking too long to, okay. How do I explain it? Because you're not aware of the importance of having fun, the importance of doing things outside of each other, or the importance of being able to take that hormone and procreate with it, you can't really understand the importance of you having enough time to spend with your with source energy. You having enough time to spend with source energy is in cycles. You need a good 13 days to be able to continue procreating in a unit, okay, to keep the network strong. Okay, you need to be able to sit there and focus and meditate and do all those things as feminine, work on your yoni, right? It's a physical sense, it's a physical sensation you got to be able to experience. If you are craving the connection with spirit, you got to have enough time within the 24-hour day period in a 7-day week to be able to allow your flowers to bloom, right? Allow the good energy around you to be felt. And that network is something that extends to the community. Okay? The more divine feminine are not in their soft era and they are in masculine energy, the network of intelligence is dying. Okay? You're unable to save enough time in a day for yourself to be able to interconnect. Think about all the roles and the responsibilities of a Queen of Pentacles. You know, especially as divine feminine energy that needs your love and attention and affection. Do not doubt for a second that your role as divine feminine energy is getting the short end of the stick, but someone has convinced you through stress and anxiety. No, someone has convinced you that you are getting the short end of the stick, and because you've been unaware of the harvest that came to collect you, you have allowed this delay per network, per household, per community, per this. It's been perpetuating, breaking these bonds, these sacred bonds that supersede the way the human mind may understand it. From the human mind that lacked divinity, they were considered as savages, animalistic. But it's your natural nature. Okay, they've been studying the network of community and value and standards that reside at the root of this planet. Okay, and that study has been shown that yes, with people here, everyone gets to eat, everyone gets to have a beautiful life, everyone gets to enjoy the fruits of their everyday labor, and no one's depleted and drained, because that network is ever growing, it's ever more. But it's through being able to connect with that divinity, that source. And it's not tangible, it's felt, which means you got to get outside, right? But some way, somehow, they convinced our mothers, our women, to fear. Okay, a lot of things. Spirit is saying it wasn't just one. It wasn't just one. It was more than one initiative to make you feel alone in doing it by yourself. And it started through imaging, using telepathy, using your gifts of telepathy, right? Knowing that you are a visual being, knowing that you are feminine in nature as a being on this planet. I have to give you images. I have to give you television. I have to give you perspective through written word. I have to be able to get it into your visual feminine energy. And from there, I knew that the initiative was for it to procreate fear, for it to procreate stress and anxiety and worry that you would have something like your partner taken from you. Okay? It was used to create worry where you would drive yourself out of your own homes and communities, and you would destroy one another willingly, increasing those rates, because you can't be everything to everyone. Something's going to go unchecked, something's going to go unnoticed. But you don't have the sisterhood. And the reason why you don't have sisterhood is because envy and jealousy tells you that woman over there is getting more than me, or that woman over there is getting more attention than me. But you were always internal, not external. But some way, somehow, that artificial intelligence redirected your perception external to you. And you've been looking for it ever since. And by default, the moment that your intelligence became external to you, well, we created the monster. Cranky, irritated, irritable monsters of masculine energy. Because you were always, it was you, goddess energy. You were the target. They realized that it was never the male, it was never the masculine energy that carried the strength. It was the commitment and devotion that the feminine energy, the goddess energy, committed to that relationship with that primordial source, that creator energy. So in order to drive her out of her own environment, they had to turn her into like Alice in Wonderland, shrink herself, make herself big. And they've been watching you. It's like people, I'm seeing like a collective of people sitting back laughing at like how you haven't been able to identify the world's greatest plot against you. The only reason why, right, in Eternals, her lover, her true love, it didn't matter. Yes, they went off and had human lives and had other relationships, but when it came time to give birth to a new planet, right? It was an outdated an outdated belief that we have to destroy what comes naturally or what's already here in order to start anew, right? Death card. So it's like, it's not even the natural order of the planet. It's the natural order. It's the order of the cosmics that have imposed their perspective over this planet of Earth, Venus energy. Because there's something about the intelligence network that is in the roots of Earth and the planet. It's studied. It's something that's constantly looked at, and they're trying to find other planets that replicate the same intelligence, but there's none other than where we are right here, and they have us focused on trying to find it on other planets, but it's here. If it wasn't here, they wouldn't go out of their way to clone anything. Taurus, your heart is saying go after something that you want, to seize the opportunity. This is your moment. Everything changes with you. Everything starts and ends through you. Okay, I'll make you some cereal. Everything starts and ends with you. If you want it, you can have it. The moment you decide you don't want it, it stops growing. Your earth energy. So this is your element, right? So it's like I'm literally seeing like I'm seeing that scene in in Beauty and the Beast, when like she left and like the castle, even though she had left and went off to go and find her father, right? The beast was left in the castle, and all the people came to, let's get rid of the beast once and for all. Let's get rid of this person once and for all, because their belief or their bond is unbreakable. Even though you've left the community, the environment, even though you've left far away, the bond is still your connection. They thought if they broke down your household and make you have a horrible childhood or whatever, that was going to drive you far away from your connection to that divinity, that source energy, that you would stop looking for your father or whatever. But it's like, even though you've ventured out and you have completely detached from wherever you've been, your twin hasn't. And the beast has been waiting for you to come back. And what makes the beast a beast? To protect. That's all they know, right? So it's like, until you return and you put your hands where you know and believe that something can grow if you want it to, then everything that was intended to destroy you by confusing you, by distorting your perception, it's like the attack is on your person or whoever this is communicating with. And I feel like you feel like you're saving yourself, but you're really ending something. You're really meant to end something once and for all. You know what I'm saying? And it's something to do with your relationship with being suspended in the hangman energy. You've been in this energy for a minute now. this hangman upside down energy. Stress and anxiety, a state of mental torment. And it's like someone's home waiting on you. Because look, we have masculine and feminine energy right here again. And the Ten of Swords is an ending to something. An ending to a perspective, for belief in magic. Okay, so it don't take magic. The question is, do you believe in magic? Do you believe that where there's endings that you can rebuild and repurpose where you are right here, or are you always looking for the grass to be greener on the other side? This is the perspective, and I feel like, yeah, this is the perspective that you went on this entire journey for. Because someone, okay, 8 of Wands, something was attacking you. It's the moon energy. Something was directly put into your subconscious, and you've been trying to find your way back to yourself. Yeah, somebody played the greatest trick on you, and it has something to do with feeling alone. You were easy. It was easy, easy picking or something. Easy to get you to abandon something, okay, or get out of alignment with something. Because listen, it's what I'm seeing here is wherever you are, Taurus, it grows. And if you believe that, someone's convinced you that not to believe that. You may have been doing it, but you were doing it the wrong way. Belief is felt, it's experienced. There's no proof or validation of that you can measure by up close. You got to be able to measure it long term. Someone's shifted your perspective to short-term gratification rather than long-term gratification. And they've been controlling the will for you. You got to be extremely important. I'm telling you, you got to be extremely important. Whatever your mission is extremely important. It's like epic. The epics of Gilgamesh. The Queen of Swords. Look at that. The devil. The Sun and the Emperor. Someone makes you sick. They're a beast, all right? Oh, they are a beast, all right? But underneath that is a king. Underneath that is an emperor. Underneath all of that is the sun. The sun. So there is someone here that has been waiting for, and I feel like for some of you, it's not even about you. It's the people around this person. It's like the people around this person talks horrible to this person. It talks horrible to this person. And it's almost like this could be their parent, their friends, their colleagues. Your person has horrible people around them that speak to them down and negative. That's all they know. And it's like they're holding on and they're absorbing it empathically. And that's all they're giving out, because that's the the negativity that's pouring into them. For some of you, it's like the person they're dealing with. For others of you, it's their parent. All I know is it's coming through the form of another feminine energy, whether they're male or female. Whoever this person is, they talk to them so degradingly. It's like those two experiments. This person can't grow. Both of you have that same twin energy. Like, you couldn't grow in the environment. They couldn't grow in the environment. They didn't know how to get out of it. You got out of it. And this person hasn't realized that their oppressor is what's holding on to them. Their oppressor is they're chain balled to certain people, a certain group. And they're calling it love, and that ain't true love. This is true love over here. There's a sacrifice that has to happen. Like, someone's about to have a revelation or epiphany that they need to sacrifice a lot of people in order to have true love with you, Taurus. That they need to sacrifice a lot of people. Ain't no sunshine when it's gone. I know. The Tower. I know one thing's for sure. You're deciding to end something. You're deciding to end something. Here. You're manifesting a new life. You're manifesting a new life. 4 of Wands. Stable. Healthy. Look at that. Okay, you have the 8 of Wands, and someone's gonna heal. Someone is going to heal here. Someone's not a monster. They're just a monster in a certain environment, connected to a certain group of people. They're not a part of the network. They are not a part of the network. I feel like this other person here is even like encouraging them to indulge in certain vices, like go out and party, escapism type of energy. They're being encouraged to do a lot of different things. Spirit, can you clarify if you're telling Taurus that they can't control anything? What is your advice? Because I see what's happening or what you're saying. Well, Temperance. Ooh, well. Some of you are healers. You are healers. You are shamans. You are priests. You are gods. The writings on the wall. You are these reincarnates of these divine beings. And they're saying, like, you've been playing small, feeling helpless, like you're doomed to experience certain things, but you are builders. You are builders. This is like, remember who you are. Ask inquisitive questions. Do your research. See the monster. See who the real monster is. Because a lot of people say that, you know, the witch was a good person, right? The witch asked a question. And they were like, oh, how can they say that to the witch, right? She was disguised as something, which means she came with deceptive energy, right? She tested she came with deceptive energy because she didn't like the lifestyle that they were living. She felt like they were experiencing all of their wish fulfillments. And with that one question, she was able to bring down a whole empire. She was able to tear down a whole unit, a whole network. And that question was, can I come in? He looked at her and he determined that was a no. Now, what if, and through conversation, she was able to curse him? Now, let's say that was a test, a spiritual one, that is, right? Whatever that test was, we can say, oh, he should have never answered the door. We can say, oh, this was that was this. But the bell and the call, right, of judgment was that the primordial energy determined that the stability of this Four of Pentacles, right, the Emperor energy, was not balanced. And through that energy, that determination became the test that they were the spirit that was put on them. Okay? And that was Temperance, Sagittarius energy. For the love of money, for the love of a lot of different things, it'll make you do a lot of things, and you will regret it, and it will become a lesson until you understand that until you honor the primordial nature and of feminine energy, you've pretty much cursed yourself to operate like beasts, consuming everything with no reparation of anything in return. Moon energy, only basking in the sun, but never honoring the cycles of the moon. Something about the moon, the sun and the moon and the cycles, and the 13 is the death card. Everything stops growing when you are not honoring your feminine energy. And if you're trying to build and procreate with another person through divinity, you have to honor the feminine energy in your union. That's the spiritual. That's the third party energy that's supposed to be the governing factor in this rooted intelligence. And when it's not the governing factor, well, you will regret it. And you will create pain, and you will tear it all down. You will tear it all down. Everything that you built. So this is like ancestors are guiding to help return back to your glory days and reinvest in becoming an independent nation again, with traditions and values and principles. All right, waiting for things to change is a lie. Okay. This is like being the change, really. Waiting for the change to come, it ain't gonna come like that. You gotta fight. You have to take action. Waiting for something to be returned to you. Someone is deceiving someone here, Eight of Swords, and is keeping them trapped from experiencing the love that they want. It's making them fight. It's saying, yeah, it's making them fight. Can't have a happy family. No one wins when the family feuds, but someone's encouraging it, like encouraging the feud, stoking the fire. Clarify the 7 of Swords, 10 of Wands. Making it harder than it has to be. Pride and ego. But there's more than one person helping to keep this trap going, or this illusion going further and further and further. Oh. I hope that helps. That's today's channel's message. All my cards are, yeah, everyone going different ways all over the world, all over the planet. Wise one, grow within your current situation. Grow within your current situation. Didn't I just say that? Bask in joy and light. Something about summertime. Between now and summer. Water guardian. Connect with your emotions. So it's time to connect with your emotions. Like I said, feminine energy. All right. That's what I have for you, Taurus. Sending you lots of love, wisdom, and guidance on your journey. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.